It is a bit of a winter stormy night going on out there. So what better thing to do than sit inside next to a cozy fireplace. This fireplace is heating our house right now. It does a good job of it, although it's not very efficient as fireplaces go. So be it, still free heat, still labor. The pigs have been fed their corn and their hay, and the chickens are all hiding underneath the coop to stay out of the cold wind. So one of the viewers asked the question in the comments and asked if I like to be away from the Amish, or I'm assuming away from the Amish community. And the answer to that is yes, I do. Now, there's a couple reasons, and bear in mind, although I like being away from the community and I like where I'm at right now, I do miss my family. I don't see them very often. I love them. I enjoy being around them. They're great brothers and sisters, great mom and dad. I love my family. So one of the reasons I am glad I don't live in an Amish community, in that community is it's, you know, everybody knows everybody and everybody knows what's going on, and it's like everybody knows the ins and outs of your life, and they make assumptions off of that, wrong assumptions sometimes. You know, everybody looks at the Amish community as you know, they watch Amish people go about their day, go about shopping, and they just see the peace. They see this peaceful community where everything seems perfect and right, and this is not the case. Like there's a lot of darkness and turmoil and struggles going on. It's just, you know, and it's, people aren't really individuals. Yes, there's a little bit of freedom. I can only speak for my community too. Just keep that in mind. I only came from one community. I don't know how the other more stricter ones are. I don't know how what they're like. So it's, you know, you make a move and somebody sees it and everybody knows it, right? And it's kind of, I'm kind of glad I live out here in Idaho away from it, because Amish people too they don't want to see people who leave succeed. They don't want them to see happy, because that means that maybe there is something outside of the community. They tend to want to see and point out the negative things about their lives, you know, after Amish people have left the Amish faith and are now, because a lot of them leave and they're happier. They're more, because they find the true Christ, the true biblical salvation, right? And it, guys, it's the truth. It's freeing. It's great. Life isn't perfect, but it's just something. It changes you. It changes you, and you can't hide it. So I don't know where I was going with that. But so, you know, they pick on, I don't know, they don't pick on. So, you know, like that's one reason, you know, I'm out of their spotlight kind of, and that's good. I like that, because I like if you're in an Amish community, if you're Amish, you're kind of all the same. You all dress the same, and there's no individuality. You know, when you get together and hang out, it's talk about factories or horses. You know, it's about it. Like there's just not a whole lot of room to be too creative. Now there is. I mean, you can do art, you can do furniture building and all that stuff, but it's just a little stifling. Number two, the second reason I wouldn't want to live there anymore is not necessarily to do with Amish people, but the terrain. There's northern Indiana is flat and it's full of people, and there's not much to do. You know, you can go out to eat, you can go bowling. Michigan has a couple ski resorts, small ones. I kind of miss them, actually. I moved out here where the big mountains are, and I kind of miss my small little 50 laps through the terrain park every night, although I'm getting too old for that. So one of these days I'll post the first video I ever edited and of snowboarding, and we'll just throw it up on this channel just for fun. But living out here in southern Idaho, there's so much openness and there's so much public land that at any time, I was hoping to do it this weekend, but any time you can take a little camper or your tent or whatever, and you can drive out onto BLM land, Bureau of Land Management, BLM land, and camp anywhere you want. Just to the west of us is the Owyhee Desert, where it's just nothing but grasslands and sagebrush and then deep canyons. And you know, it looks kind of boring, but yet it has this beauty of its own, you know. And there's Balance Rock just west of us, gorgeous little park canyon. To the south of us, we have what we call the South Hills. Actually, they'd be mountains in Eastern standards. I think the South Hills, the tallest peak is a little over 8,000 feet. But then like 3 hours north of us, we have the Sawtooth Mountains, the Sawtooth National Forest. It's so beautiful. I shouldn't be advertising Idaho because I don't want to. A lot of people are moving into Idaho right now. Nobody likes it. So, but anyway, just a gorgeous, gorgeous area, and so much hiking and so much mountain biking and snowboarding and fly fishing and whitewater rafting. And there's just out here, there's so much to do outside of the house, you know, and I love that. And I wish I would have moved out here a lot sooner than I did, because it's my thing. I love it. There's something about those majestic rocky peaks that I don't know. I just find peace in that. I don't know if it makes me feel small, and I kind of get a bigger grasp of how big God is. But I don't know. There's something about the sunsets and the peaks and the beauty and the space that just I don't know. That's kind of how God, I think, that's how I connect with God, or that's how I feel closer with God somehow. Not sure. So, you know, Indiana was boring. It's straight up boring. Now I wish I would have known a little bit more. I would have ventured into Michigan instead of doing the Rumspringa thing and the partying. I would have spent a lot more time up in Michigan exploring those hills and forests. So that's the second reason. The third reason is, even though I love my family, like when you live in a community like that has, you know, they don't have a TV, they don't have entertainment, so they visit each other's houses, and they're constantly having dinner over here or going, doing this, you know, eating out or whatever, and pretty soon you know a lot of people, so pretty soon your calendar's filled with stuff to do, and you don't really want to say no to them all, so you're just kind of busy, really busy. Now, on the flip side of that, out here, I don't think we do that enough. Like, we just never have people over for dinner, and I think that sucks. I think that's unfortunate, because I think that is a huge positive. I just think in the Amish community, it might be overdone, and out here, it's underdone. Living out here, outside of the community is, I don't know, I can be who I am, right? You know, it's, Amish people they focus a lot on looks, like, or at least our community. Like, it was, you know, you can, like, its dress is huge, right? So whenever, you know, somebody's getting ready for church or for a wedding, they're all worried about, does this look good? Does this look good? How's this? Does this look good? You know, because everybody's getting their dresses perfect. And if a belt's a little crooked on a dress, or, you know, something's not perfect on the head covering or whatever, you know, it's other people notice. And not that they really care, but it's still noticeable. Nobody wants to be noticed. And, you know, even the guys are worried about it. And it's, you know, out here, I'm away from it. Like, if we have a guy that shows up at church Wednesdays, or used to, you know, in his chore clothes, his dairy chore clothes, you know, just because he probably didn't have time to go home and change, and it's perfectly fine. You know, we're not there to look good. We're there to hear the word of God. We're there to connect, to worship. And I love that. Like, it's so much more relaxed. Like, I can walk into church with shorts and flip-flops and nobody bats an eye. You know, is that right? I think that's each to his own. I'm pretty sure when Jesus was teaching to the thousands, had the crowds, they weren't all dressed in their Sunday best, right? So, and the early church the same, you know, they kind of had to hide and stuff. I don't know, you know, maybe they dressed up in their Sunday best robes, whatever they wore, but it's just, yeah, I just like this more relaxed atmosphere because I'm more of a laid back guy, and it's so much more freeing than, right? Even if I wasn't Amish, in the Amish community, I would be worried about how I dress because other people notice. It's just weird how that works. So, and my wife would even tell you that I worry about how I look. And that's probably just comes from that atmosphere. We'll do a video on dress sometime later. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, if I wouldn't live here in Idaho in the West, I would probably move to Western North Carolina because that's another favorite area of mine. Maybe Michigan, I don't know. Or northern Montana. There's so many places I would like to live. But for right now, southern Idaho, we live in a valley. It looks kind of flat. There's just a bunch of farmland. But there's gorgeous mountains to the north. There's hills to the south. That's usually where we do some mountain biking. And we have a canyon just 5 miles west of us with a desert that just opens up into a bunch of nothing. And at any time you can go out there and shoot your guns all you want, practice whatever, as long as you don't poach animals. So I appreciate you guys taking the time watching this stuff. I'll see you next time.